In this video, we are going to see how we can create TestNg XML file so that we can execute multiple test cases for our automation suite. So now if we look at our test cases, we can see that we have created one TestNg program Java file which is having some test cases, and these test cases, they are getting executed once I try to run them from here. Now say for example I want to run them through TestNg XML. So basically if you want to run the test cases in the CI/CD pipeline, you cannot go like this and run like this, right? So how we can do that, how we can run the test cases in the CI/CD pipeline? We can do that using TestNg XML file. So in order to create a TestNg XML file, before that what I will do, I will just create one more Java class with some dummy test cases. So let us create a Java class and name it like. So now for the sake of creating a TestNg XML, what I have done, I have created one more test case. So I created contact us page test, and in that Java class I have created one test which what it is doing is like it is just going on profiles, and after going on profile it is clicking on contact us and it is opening this page. So if you go and see, like this is the setup method, before setup method, and this is after setup method, and it is same as what we have used in our first TestNg class, and it is also having the same thing. So it's doing the same thing that we are doing in my first TestNg program, and we are just initializing the driver and we are performing some steps, and here I'm just taking out the text. So we are getting this text to validate if we are on the contact us page. Now we are going to create a TestNg XML file. So we know, like if we want to execute multiple test classes, we cannot do this like this, right? And even if we want to execute the text cases in the CI/CD environment, we need to have some mechanism. So let us create a TestNg XML file, and here what I will do, I will just go to the root of the project and I will create a new file, and I will just name it as TestNg.xml. So here our TestNg XML file is created. Now what I will do, we are just going to use this symbol, and here we are going to write the suit. So don't worry, we are going to see what exactly everything is doing, and after that we are going to give the name for this suit. So maybe we can just write something like Myntra tests, and then we are going to do like this. And now here we are having the opening suit and the closing suit. After that we are going to create the test level. So tags, for the test level tags, we are just going to use something like test, and so most of the work it is getting auto completed by IntelliJ. So if you will just write test and you will enter, you will get the opening and closing of this test tag. And here I'm going to create classes tag. So I will explain everything. So now we have a classes tag. I will just move this. So basically what this suit is doing, it is a highest level of the hierarchy in the TestNg XML, and then these tests, they are like what kind of test cases we want to automate. So don't confuse them with the test method. That is different thing and this is different thing. So maybe what I can say that these tests I am executing, and I will just give them some name, and I will call them like maybe sanity test. So now you are getting the context, right? So these are the kind of test cases you are going to perform. You are just going to name all these kind of test cases, maybe sanity, smoke, regression, or maybe it's like from the release point of view, Myntra 1.0 release, like this. So you are going to name these tests something like this. So I will just write them as sanity tests. And after doing this, what we are going to do, we are just going to, okay, so here we are going to use classes, and now we are just going to use class tag, class. So now we are going to call the classes that we want to automate, and we are just going to give it some name. So now I will just use this thing, and it will automatically create the closing tags for this class, and here we can call the classes that we want to run using this TestNGXML file. So say for example, I want to run something like, we want to run name class name equals to, and here we are going to give the name. So maybe we are first going to call the package which is in the class. So if we want to call this class, we are going to call this TestNG package. So I'm just going to name it as TestNG, and then we are going to call the class name. So here we are getting option like my first TestNG program and contact us. So we are just going to use something like this. And say for example, now if I want to run both these classes in the same TestNG XML, I will just create a separate class tag, and I will just call it using my first TestNG program. So yeah, this is how our TestNG XML looks like, and now we will try to run and see if it is working fine or not. So I will just go to this file TestNG XML, and I will right click on this, and then I will just click run TestNG XML. So our program started running and the Chrome browser is launched. So it executed one test case, and now it is trying to execute the test cases from the other class. So okay, is it oh yeah, so actually we did one mistake. So we called the same class, so I need to call my contact page test. So sorry for the mistake, I needed to call this class, but I called the same class again. So we will try to run it once again and see if it is working fine. So it's launched the browser, maximized, and then it executed the test cases. Now it is executing the test cases from second test case, and now another setup is launched, and now it executed third test case from the contact us page. So we can see that our test case is working fine, and we were able to drive our all the test cases for all the classes using TestNG XML. So it's not a very big concept like how we can do. It's not a rocket science. You just need to create a suit level tag and name it, then test level tag, then name is, and again you need to remember that this test is different from this test, so don't confuse with them. And here we are just going to create the classes tags, and in these classes tags we are going to name the classes that we want to execute. And it's not only like we can just have one single classes. If we want, we can create a separate classes, and we can have some class method here also. It's like how you are going to drive your automation framework. So maybe we are going to cache these things later, but as of now, this is a simple way of running the TestNG XML. Hope you liked my video. See you in the next video.